Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Marcus Murray, and I'm here with my lovely wife,
Shira Murray.
And we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of living in California. Yay, yay. Yeah, guys, so we wanted to do this video coming to you listing pros and cons about living in this wonderful state of California. So we're going to start with the pros first. One of the things that, is just truly beautiful about this state is the weather. The beautiful part about the weather here is that we avoid the extremes. It's never 120 degrees. It's never 32 below. Shira, what you think about that?
There's nothing wrong with snow, so...
Yeah, snow's okay, but...
Why does snow have to be the extreme for you?
To me, snow is extreme. That's just me.
That's because you're from California.
Absolutely. This is all I know.
Another cool thing about the weather in California is that we could be in the middle of a cold winter, but if we want a little sun, we could hop on the plane and be in LA or Southern California in an hour, and it'll be, perfect 70, 80 degrees in the middle of winter. So that's another thing that's really convenient about California's weather, that we get to avoid the extremes, and then depending on how you're feeling, you could probably find a place to go, and it won't take you that long to get there.
Another pro about living in California is there's lots of things to do. Like Shira was saying, you're 2 hours or 3 hours away from any experience you could possibly want. We got the beach, we got mountains and the forest, Yosemite National Park, we have Disneyland down south, we have Napa wine country. There's just so many wonderful things to do, so many different sceneries that you can experience here. We're just an hour plane ride away from Las Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's what they tell me. And the wonderful thing about it is we have so many professional sports franchises in this state. The NBA champions reside in the state of California.
Yes.
And we're so happy to welcome the king to the state. You know who I'm talking about. LeBron James. Yeah. LeBron, we welcome you to sunny California.
Yes, we do. Another thing that California has is beautiful geography, beautiful landscapes, and we have a lot of agriculture. We have a Mediterranean climate in some parts of California, which means that we're able to grow things here that other states and other countries just cannot grow. It is certainly a wonderful thing to drive through the orchards and the vineyards, and we have a lot of that in Northern California, a lot of agriculture-related things happening.
One of the big pros about living in California is its diversity. The beautiful thing is everywhere you go, you're liable to find someone that looks like you in that area. And that's not to say that we don't have our racial challenges here like any other state, but it is a beautiful thing to see so many different races and colors in the area. I think that's really a great thing about California.
It is not just diversity in race, but just a lot of diversity across the board, which is really great and something that we feel that is important as we raise our kids and as we interact with our community.
Another cool thing about California is depending on your industry, you have high earning potential. We have Silicon Valley here, we have Hollywood. We have a lot of high rollers here in California and a lot of ways to earn a lot of revenue.
So if you're not into tech, or you're not a movie star, there are other things for you to do. There are a lot of universities. I work for a university. There are a lot of nonprofit and hospitals and just a lot of different opportunities that are here, which is great. The economy is doing well, and there are opportunities for upward mobility in a lot of fields.
So I know it sounds like we're just glowing and just bubbly about California, but now we're gonna hit you with some of the cons.
Yes. Now these cons had us really thinking like, why are we really here? So the number one thing that is a con in California is the cost of living. It is expensive. One of the things that's really high on the list of importance is the ability to be able to purchase a home. And currently the median home price in California is $549,000. Yes, it is rough out there if you are not in a home. And also the rent is pretty high too. And the average rent is actually $13.75. And depending on what part of the state you live in, it could be dramatically more. And to give you a little bit of perspective of the price difference depending on the location, here are some examples. So in San Francisco, that's in the Bay Area, the average house price is currently $1.7 million. then if you were to travel to Southern California, Orange County, for example, the average house price is $824,000. So it is really getting pricey. The average home in California is more than double the national average, which makes it really challenging for people that are trying to jump into the housing market for the first time. One thing that a lot of people are doing to navigate this expensive system is a lot of people have roommates. So adults, they have good careers, but it's so expensive, they're living with 2 or 3 people. Another thing, it makes having 2 incomes almost a necessity just to be able to get by. The second thing that we're seeing is a rise in gentrification. We know that the revitalization of a community is a positive thing, but what has happened is that in a lot of communities, because of the revitalization of the area, people that are natives are being forced to move to less desirable areas, and it's not just affecting people of color, it's affecting just the average person. So that is something that's happening, and like I said, it makes it hard for you if you are a teacher or if you're just a blue-collar worker. It just makes it difficult to survive, and so we have seen a mass exodus. An example of this is that we're seeing a lot of people in the Bay Area move to the Valley or move more into Northern California. Which leads me to my third con, which is increased commuting times. So since a lot of people are finding that they can't afford to live in the area where they work, they will purchase a house or live in an apartment an hour, 2 hours away. And so that has really affected a lot of the traffic in our area in Northern California, and also this is something that happens in Southern California. And me personally, I've experienced having to commute, and I found myself in the car anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day, just in the car driving. 40 hours a month in my car. Commuting is a big part of a lot of people's lives in California, so that is certainly a con.
Another huge con about living in California is the taxes. The taxes are high. State taxes are high. Income taxes are high. Taxes, taxes, taxes. Per capita, Californians pay roughly $2,000 in income tax a year, which is the 4th highest in the nation. And the last con is the threat of natural disaster. We are currently in the midst of fire season here in California. A lot of the land here is susceptible to fires, and we get a lot of fires during the summer months. I mean, just the past couple years, we went from the extreme droughts in California where we were conserving water at all costs to the threat of dams being overfilled and levees breaking in the area and floods. And then we have the dreaded earthquakes.
Yes.
Yes, we do have some earthquakes. We've had massive earthquakes in the Bay Area, but we also have heard rumors and threats of the big one. And that's always something that is in the back of our minds here as Californians.
So those are a few of our pros and cons. We know that in the last 10 years, there have been a huge exodus of people leaving California.
I want to leave personally.
No.
I'm gonna just tell y'all, but
No,
she don't want me to leave, but I'm ready to see what the world has to offer. Yeah, I've been here for 33 years, I'm looking to see what else is out there.
I don't know. Maybe in the future, like in the distant future, we might consider moving. But it is a challenge to live here, but there's a lot of benefits too.
Absolutely. So we hope you enjoyed this video. So if you live in California and you'd like to share a little bit about your experiences here, we'd love to hear that in the comments below. Also, if you have any questions about California, feel free to ask us. I'd like to consider us experts. So for Marcus Murray, this is my lovely wife,
Shira Murray.
and we are black,
Married and
debt-free.
debt-free. West Side!